An MSNBC reporter inadvertently revealed that network's policy of asking softball questions to maintain cozy relationships with politicians in this video.
I mean, before we beat ourselves up too much for not challenging Donald Trump in the same way that Charlie Sykes did, we have to remember that Charlie did a one and done. That's the term of art here in the journalism world. He knew he had one shot at Donald Trump. So Charlie Sykes, he took his opportunity. He knew it was going to be a one and done. He does not have to go back to Donald Trump ever again. People who are on the beat, people who work for our network, they have to keep that relationship going for a long, long time. Charlie did not have that burden, and as a result, he had the luxury of being incredibly blistering.
Well, I commend Tony for his good looks, but also for the fact that he was being very transparent in that segment. I mean, he's just reinforcing and confirming something that we've been talking about on TYT for years now. Forget this election. We've been talking about this for, I mean, honestly, nearly a decade. It's a big issue when it comes to journalists. It's the issue of access. And a lot of mainstream outlets believe that access to these public figures is more important than holding these public figures accountable. Here's the reality. You don't need to have them on your show to hold them accountable, right? We do it all the time. And as a result, we don't have a lot of big name politicians on our show because they just refuse to be interviewed by us. They're afraid.
Also, they don't really know what the internet is.
True.
In large part.
Well, true, but I think that more than anything, it's fear. They don't want the hardball questions. Right now, journalists have given all the power to the politicians, when in reality, journalists are supposed to be the ones that hold these people accountable, that ask them the tough questions, and give their viewers and readers the information they need to be part of the democratic process. That's what it's about. You can't allow the people that you're supposed to be holding accountable to run the show because you want access to them. Look, if I were in the position of an MSNBC journalist or reporter, right, and my tough line of questioning led to someone refusing to be interviewed by me, I would get on the show every day and be like, Hillary Clinton refuses to be interviewed by me because she's afraid. She can't defend herself against the hard questions that I'm going to ask her. Isn't that really sad?
It is sad, yeah.
I mean, that's the way you should frame it, but they're afraid. They're such weaklings.
Well, they're afraid because the goal used to be we have to get to the truth. Now it has to be we have to be entertaining to get viewers. Our genre is news, but we just have to be entertaining. We don't really care about the truth fundamentally. The only area I disagree with you on is, well, I think that it would be great for more reporters to be willing to take that stand and do that. It only really, like, I understand the financial pressure that the individual reporters are under. They need to be supported by the network.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And that's the thing. I don't think MSNBC will support most of them.
No, they
Maybe
won't.
the biggest people at the very top, Rachel Maddow and her little brother, they might get some support. Maybe Megyn Kelly gets support. But whoever that reporter is, and he's a very attractive guy, but I forgot his name. He's probably not going to get the support from MSNBC, and so I'm a little bit sympathetic to him cozying up to a politician, I guess.
Look, I absolutely agree with you. I mean, if you're working for a news organization like CNN or MSNBC, yeah, I mean, doing your job the way that I just demonstrated is going to get you fired, right?
Yeah.
But I think that most
kick
people...
his well-coiffed hair to the side so fast.
I think most people who work in news come at a crossroads in their careers, right? I know that I experienced it, and if you haven't experienced it, you certainly will at some point, where you have to choose between the awesome salaries with all the fancy goodies that come along with your job, or you work for a news organization that has some integrity and doesn't try to censor you in any way. Look, say whatever you want to say about Cenk and what you agree or disagree with him on. You have to give him credit for the fact that he has never once told me what I can and can't say on the show. We've disagreed. We've agreed. Like, it doesn't matter. I have my own opinions. I say what's really on my mind, and I don't have to worry about any type of reprimand as a result of that. Now, that comes at a price, and the price is insanely long hours with not so great pay. But I gotta live with myself at the end of the day, and I love what I do. I gotta love what I do, and I would hate just being a mouthpiece for a politician.
You have to live with yourself and in LA 4 or 5 roommates.
Yeah, you know what? A one-bedroom apartment isn't that bad. I can deal with it for the rest of my life, probably.
It's not bad. Now, right after the reporter said that, Lawrence O'Donnell, who is the person the reporter is talking to, has to do one of two things: either give the correct response or cover his ass. You watch the video and decide which he's doing.
Well, I don't think the fact that you have to cover Donald Trump means that you then play softball with him so that you can guarantee he will speak to you another time. Once the mission of an interview is to get the next interview with the same person, we know how soft that interview is going to be.
So, look, I think hopefully he really believes that. And look, Lawrence O'Donnell, in general, unless I'm forgetting some things, I generally agree with. He seems like an actual guy who cares. He also looks exactly like I was just telling her, a serious news version of Conan O'Brien. But anyway, he's generally right on the issues, and I think he's saying the right thing there. But at the very least, he is, from MSNBC's point of view, having to say, oh, wait, to the people watching, we're not actually going that easy on them, even though they generally are.
Right. I mean, I wonder if Lawrence O'Donnell was like behind the scenes thinking like, no, you're being too transparent. Shut up.
Yeah.
But look, I've obviously watched Lawrence O'Donnell and Rachel Maddow, and I don't think MSNBC is hopeless, okay? I know we criticize the media a lot, but both of them have done really great work. Rachel Maddow did incredible work when it came to the Flint water crisis. And so, look, there's good stuff coming out of MSNBC, but you just heard a correspondent tell you right to your face, we play softball with these politicians because we want access to them. And that is not journalistic integrity.
Yeah. Now, I want to provide some quick incentive to reporters to actually ask the hardball questions. So in that video, they were referring to Charlie Sykes, who's a Wisconsin area conservative radio host who was talking with Donald Trump, who fairly desperately needs to win Wisconsin. And it doesn't seem that he's doing amazingly there in terms of his media appearances. And Charlie Sykes was not fucking around with Donald Trump. And so they had a lot of great interactions, but I want to read part of one. And so they're talking about the back and forth over Melania Trump and Heidi Cruz, and Donald Trump gleefully retweeting bad-looking pictures of Heidi Cruz while saying, ha ha, my wife that I bought is hot. And that seems like a kind of immature thing for a presidential candidate to do, and he actually called him out on it. He says, is this your standard, that if a supporter of another candidate, not the candidate himself, does something despicable, that it's okay for you personally, a candidate for president of the United States, to behave in that same way? I mean, I expect that from a 12-year-old bully on a playground, not someone who wants the office held by Abraham Lincoln. And Donald Trump, in the midst of spluttering out a response, says, I did a retweet, and it was art by someone else. I didn't Photoshop it. I didn't even know it was necessarily a very bad picture of her versus Melania. Yes. You retweeted it only because you thought it was a bad picture. I don't care if you Photoshopped it yourself. It was perhaps the most immature thing a presidential candidate has ever done on Twitter before.
Yeah,
but the guy drilled into him there, called him a bully.
Yeah, I give him credit for that. That's the way that you're supposed to handle an interview.
And well, he should do it both because it's holding Donald Trump accountable, a guy who needs to be held accountable, but he should also do it for this reason. Because right now in the Young Turks, we're talking about Charlie Sykes. You know how many times in the past we've talked about Charlie Sykes?
Zero.
I didn't know who he was, but he did good work here. For all I know, he's a crazy person. I honestly don't know. But he did good work here. And any other reporter, whether on cable news or Wisconsin radio, who does the same thing, who uses their opportunity not to have a closer relationship with a president, but to hold them accountable in pursuit of the truth, will see the same sort of pickup that Charlie Sykes got around the country.